My good students Srinivas and Sangeeta being faculty members here and giving me opportunity to do this. And it may not be like Surya Kumar Yadav or Suresh Kumar innings. It's a Kishan innings, simple innings it will be. Please. Okay. Now we will be going to see some aspects of civil engineering and geotechnical aspects in basically infrastructure development. Friends, major part of the talk was already covered by eminent field expert like Suresh, and wherein this they have given lot of scope of civil engineering. It details about it's a professional engineering that deals with the design, construction, maintenance of physical and natural built environment. Maybe with the works like it can be roads, bridges, canals, and airports, sewerage systems, of course, along with some pipelines and railways. If it's just to see some infrastructure, as he has given details of how much money is going to be spent in India and all over the globe, there can be multi-rise buildings, maybe towers, maybe simple buildings, maybe railways, all transportation systems, or highways, or ports, airports or seaports, anything. And recently we have seen, she is my junior at REC Warangal. I think all of you know Madhavi Lata from IIC Bangalore, who is a pioneering lady from Afghans, being a member of our engineer of Afghans and professor of civil engineering department of IIC Bangalore. She could make a, along with IIT Roorkee and IIT Bombay, they have designed this marvelous construction of arch bridge spanning over approximately 127 meters one arch. And friends, the height is more than the Eiffel Tower, more than almost 360 meters, like 120 floor building. That's the height of the arch at which they have planned this. And they have spent a good amount of steel, and the lifespan is 120 years, and they have spent around 1500 crores for one project, one bridge. And recently, as Madam was mentioning about this, in Mumbai we have this 14,500 crores project of twin tunnels joining from Gurgaon to other parts of Navi Mumbai. And see how much of geotechnical engineering and civil engineering are required for this. As she was mentioning recently, that she was mentioning same thing, how the intersections are being thought of. And of course, recently in Assam also, Northeast, they are going for two types of conveyance. One is highways, the other one is railways under Brahmaputra river, spanning very connecting two parts of the Brahmaputra river with a consumption of around 18,600 crores. How much of money is being invested for these projects? The main aim of informing you this is, we have so many projects, huge amount of money being spent. And let me tell you, either as Suresh has said, or Prasanti Madam has mentioned, we need good civil engineers. Without civil engineers, no civil engineering project can go on. And please remember, we need the people, as she was mentioning, it's not only shear force and bending moment diagram, bearing capacity, settlement calculations. We need to have in-depth knowledge and use of some software. Then we have more opportunities to come. And this is another marvelous project coming between the main capital and the financial capital, Delhi, Mumbai, connecting way, where we have 1,355 kilometers of expressway being constructed with a cost of around 90,000 crores. That is the amount of money being spent in one highway, one expressway. And what to speak of this Navi Mumbai airport, wherein there will be two separate runways for both, one coming and going, and there will be separate channels for VVIPs and all these things. It's also a huge project with around 20,000 crores. And this is another marvelous civil engineering construction coming in Mizoram, Girder Bridge. And this is also one of the 10,000 crores being spent. Another marvelous thing, luckily REC Warangal is connected to this investigations of this bullet train that is coming from Ahmedabad to Mumbai, wherein they are spending around 1 lakh crores of rupees for this railway project. This is the quantum of civil engineering infrastructures that is being done in India especially. What to speak of the new thing that is coming in Andhra Pradesh, Telugu, another Telugu state, wherein Google is going for its biggest data center with a very good quantum of money, even for the building 50,000 crores being spent. And on one fine morning at 11 o'clock in the morning, one of my old students barges into my room, giving a knock. Sir, you should not be late by 10 minutes because that is rule I follow in my classes. After 10 minutes, no one is allowed. So I just have to recollect from what batch he is. He is 2008 passed out, working in a big company in Reliance and dealing with a major project of rehabilitation of Dharavi. With so many people, Dharavi is a very huge area in Mumbai, and they are going to rehabilitate the slum area. All the people who are below poverty line will be given good accommodation, and 50% is going for commercialization. They are also spending lot of money of around 1,25,000 crores. He is the manager in that company who barges into my room on one fine morning. Yeah, this is another thing where NIT Warangal is doing some investigations for this pipelines and all those things. Paradip port, which is coming in Orissa with 3,500 crores. The magnanimous port that is coming in Orissa. And this is the one in Telangana, where Tata Projects have worked for this, and NIT Warangal is the consultant, and we have designed the foundations for the pylons, and we have given, it's a really huge project, and it's a rock being exposed. We could go for a massive shallow foundations to take care of the pylons and abutments. And surprisingly, my daughter studies her MBBS in Karimnagar. You may not believe, in the second year, that bridge was ready. I'm taking her in my vehicle, and I said, we are the people who work for this. Papa, stop it. Up and Papa, up. Nana, up. So I stopped the vehicle. He got down. Oh, my father is involved in this. See the kind of happiness a civil engineer gets, because we are able to see the project manifesting. This is one kind of thing where you can see your capabilities. Don't think that civil engineering is declining. No, this is evergreen branch. As principal or head of the department are mentioning, it is called Royal Civil Engineering. Every year we have opportunities, but as Suresh has mentioned, you have to be equipped with all knowledge. It can be ABCDs, can be shear force bending moment diagrams. Anything is very important. If you have the basics, you'll shine like anything. And recently, we are also doing a project on artificial intelligence in civil engineering projects like 3D printing. This is another thing that in IISc Bangalore, Professor Madhavi is doing, like 3D printing for all geotechnical things. It can be piles, it can be geocells. Anything is possible now, along with making houses like concrete and walls also. And 3D printing is going on developing like anything from 1977 to 2024. So many things, just to give a details. Like, nowadays, I think all of the Indians are facing the problem of rise in gold and silver like anything. But artificial jewelry is easily available with 50 rupees, 100 rupees also, nice things are available. It is because of 3D printing. That is easily available whether in aerospace, automobiles, arts, and even healthcare. They are going for developing some mechanized heart, kidneys, and everything with this 3D printing. And this is one of the leading good manifestation of 3D printing, where we have gone for, even Paris Olympics, they have gone for a ground with 3D printing. This is the advanced things that is happening in civil engineering. And all of you know that, friends, each year we are spending around 30 billion tons of concrete. That much of requirement is there in all the projects that are coming. And this 3D concrete printing offers freedom from the design, mass personalization, and minimization of waste, and reduction of construction times and production costs. And of course, there is a simple thing. This is Professor Subramanian, who is involved in Vijay IT, also from IIT Hyderabad. And he, along with some of the students, he has gone for a 3D printing overbridge connecting two parts in two buildings in IIT Hyderabad. And luckily, one of my colleague of Radhakrishna Garu, Guneshwarao, daughter, Kamakshi, did her PhD under Subramanian, and she is involved in this. And right now, she is a postdoc in Texas A&M, comfortably working there in USA. This is the first house that came in IIT, along with the project of IIT Madras. They have gone for a building with 3D printing. This is not a normal construction, this is just 3D printing. And there is a temple also in Telangana. I think all of you, yes, some of you know this, good, nice. And now I will come to actual part. A civil engineering, it deals with many sub-disciplines, especially it can be structural, transportation, water resource, environmental, and geotechnical. It's not by mistake it happened that I have gone for a different color to geotechnical engineering. It's purposefully kept a different color because we are unique, we are special, please. All of you have to agree for this. Geotechnical engineering is something special and important also. As Prashanti was mentioning, there are a lot of changes and possibilities that can happen. Suresh sir was mentioning between steel and soil, there is a lot of possibilities of changes. And what is geotechnical engineering? It uses some principles of soil mechanics and rock mechanics, and it's mainly to investigate subsurface conditions and materials, determine the relevant properties, it can be physical, mechanical, chemical, friends, to evaluate stability of natural slopes. That is very important nowadays. Madam was mentioning about problems in Kerala. There is a lot of issues. Not only in Kerala, I have been to IIT Mandi, where Uday was working. And mind you, the slope problem there is huge because the slopes were not with rocks. It's very, very loose soil. Any time any huge rain comes, there is possibility of slashing of all the materials that can come. And it can be man-made soil deposits, and there are some risks posed by site conditions. And we will be designing some earthworks, structural foundations, and as she was mentioning, site conditions monitor karna hai, and there are a lot of earthwork and foundation constructions. This word geotechnical engineering has three main components. Geotechnical engineering. All of us may be using these words every day. And from 8th class itself, whenever anybody asks what you want to become, I want to become engineer. Sir was mentioning, you want to become engineer. But what course you are doing? What is the course you are doing? Course name, not its branch. B.Tech. It is Bachelor of Technology. But you are becoming engineer. And for this you have studied science aspect. See, there are three things. Science, engineering, technology. Now, geo means science of earth. I am studying some science. I think all of us heard this word, physical science, social science. What is science? Can anyone say? Can anyone answer if somebody asks in a campus interview, tomorrow Prashanti brings Jacobs because alumni matter. She asks a question, what is science, man? Can anyone answer what is science? Yes, good. Yes, please. What's your name? Yeah. Can you answer?
Science, gaining of knowledge.
Yes, correct?
Gaining of knowledge.
Gaining of knowledge, very good. Can you give any example what knowledge you gain? Any example? Like, you can think of concrete lab, atomic lab,
The reactions.
reactions, very good.
The principles involved.
Principles involved, just like gravitational principle, have you heard? Who have invented this? What experiment he has done? He was sitting under an apple tree, and please all of us understand, your good name?
Navanita.
Navanita. Assume Navanita was born at that time. And she was sitting under apple tree. And apple fell off. What he might have thought of Navanita? Eating it. Wow. Not only Navanita, Hare Krishna also might have thought the same thing. आज के लिए 20 रुपए बच गए. Nothing सोचता था हम. Navanita, Hare Krishna might have thought, क्यों ऊपर से नीचे हो गई? ऊपर से ऊपर नहीं होगा. Have you thought of this? No. This principle, that is, gravity was there before that person also. Before Navanita was there, Hare Krishna was there, Newton was there. But we never thought in that direction. Science is something which is hidden principle in the nature, which we are trying to give a reason. And after that finding, we are using for various principles, whether it is civil engineering, aeronautical engineering, anything we are using gravity. And please understand, utilization of these scientific principles to the humanity is engineering. I'll use the F equal to ma. I have an equation, which is nothing but engineering, utilization of science to the benefit of mankind. Now the question arises, what is technology? All of us thought of becoming engineer. We have gone for either Narayana, Chaitanya, so many branches of education institutions, get admission to IITs or NITs or VJITs. You want to become engineer, but degree was given as Bachelor of Technology. technology. IITs have
Type
started
pitch ఇక్కడ
this.
పెట్టు.
What could be the difference between engineering and technology? Any difference at all? Or both are same? But for your information, there are still some universities which give degree in Bachelor of Engineering. Anna University, yeah, SAR is a Bachelor of Engineering. Still they are going for it. See, there is some possibility of you going for Bachelor of Engineering, but many of us want to become Bachelor of all of us nowadays cannot do anything without this, isn't it? Wherever you thought of, even for lunch or toilet, always this is there. Without this, without life's partner, without anything, it is possible, but not with this. When I am a student of REC Varangal in 1991, my grandfather expired. But the news reached me after 36 hours. 1.5 day. He stays in Nellore. That I have a call on the next day. He died today evening, not tomorrow. Day after morning, I got the news. By that time, he was cremated also. Many of you might have seen the phone with the cring. That was the available communication system at that time. But friends, now the information reaches in. This is improvement engineering or technology? Technology. And when I joined REC Varangal as a student, it changed my life, REC Varangal. That's why I owe a lot to my institute, REC Varangal. When I joined, I was given a room, 10328. When I entered into the room and switched on the light and fan, the fan rotated like a helicopter fan. Grrr. My goodness, I was... इतना डर हो गया कैसे सोना है मैं. I could not sleep. But nowadays you see the fans, very sleek, slim, and without any noise at all. That is improvement in technology. Technology is nothing but any technique or tool to improve the system. It can be any skill. Sir was mentioning about the skills, and everyone has to have as an engineer. It is not that where from I am getting the degree. Even in NIT Varangal, there are only 80 to 85% of the people who get placements. 15% will not have the chance. Why? Because they are unable to get that required skill. Whether it is Geoid student, REC student, anyone will sustain in a company if at all I exhibit my skills. That is important. So whenever we need such type of skills, we need some techniques and tools to solve it. I sincerely suggest, as a senior, as a well-wisher, to increase your skills and capabilities to solve any issue. As Prashanti was mentioning, there are so many cases of issues that will be coming. As a civil engineer, you have to. I worked for a few months in some piling company where I have seen lot of issues that will be coming, and we should know how to solve it. So in this geotechnical engineering, I have some principles of earth, and some engineering principles, and some technical aspects. That is geotechnical engineering. And broadly, we can say that it is having soil mechanics and rock mechanics. Just understanding these materials with some mechanical principles. And application part is foundation engineering. And I need some information on geology. This is basic geotechnical engineering. And Kodito, Sir was also mentioning in this, is a wonderful book. He's a very good geotechnical person, Kodito. He says, it is art of selecting, designing, and constructing structural support system. And friends, why I have underlined art? I don't know how many of you have gone for selections. There is some selection procedure either for the dress, ornaments. All of us have seen. For us, it will be only 5-6 colors available for males. I'm sorry to say, when I go with my daughter or wife, shopping is a miserable thing for us. Because they'll be spending so much of time. Because they need so many varieties, so many colors, so many. ये तो है, ये design है, ये color है, so many things for us. Black pant, white shirt is enough for us. Selection is depending on the kind of variables you have, kind of parameters you have, kind of possibilities and options you have. And that is selection and designing and construction some supporting systems based on some scientific principles of soils and engineering mechanics. This is a very, very important thing. Accumulated experience. You should have that knowledge. How much will be the settlement approximately? It is not that, as Prashanti was mentioning, I'll use some software packages or something, it will give some value. Blindly I'll think, no, if it is a clay, Sir was mentioning, because the clay finds of more than 35% and plasticity ranging from 30 to 50, I expect clay will settle. I have to think about it. How much that I have to have a rough idea with accumulated experience. And complex it is. And I have taken two things. With pardon with the structural people, I want to compare with concrete and steel. Okay, soil and rock and concrete and steel. Please 100 friends. Concrete. Either if you say M20 concrete, whether it was done by Radhakrishna Garu at the age of 83, Hari Krishna at the age of 55, maybe Nishan, what is his name, madam? What is his girl?
Navanita.
Navanita at the age of 20. If at all we make, all of us will be having approximately same strength. M20 का इतना ही होता है. Now coming to steel also, whether it is 415 or 500, 600, it will be having almost same strength. But coming to soil and rock, if it is in dry condition, it will be having some strength. The same soil you bring in, keep it in water, it will lose 50% of the strength. Automatically it will lose. And if the pore water pressures are there, there is uplift, rise of groundwater or something, it just becomes zero. Quicksand condition, wherein all the soil loses its strength. It becomes like liquefaction. It becomes like a liquid. From x by 2 are 0. That is the kind of variability we have in the strength aspects of soil. These two materials, that's why it's complex. Under what situation, what condition, what loads that have to be taken care. That is the basic problem with this complex. And this is a wonderful statement I like initially by the great personality, maybe very popular, Leonardo da Vinci. He says, friends, we know more about the movement of celestial bodies than we do about soil under our. Every day we call India, we have this culture to call Bhudevi, Bhumata, Mother Earth. We regard and woe, saying that Mother, Ma. Why? She bared in her womb all of us for 9 months. She carried us literally. And we have a lot of respect to our mothers. In India only we call Bhumata, Mother Earth. And we see, friends, we are unable to understand the behavior of the soil under our feet, even today. You may think that this person is not at par 500 years back, but still it is true based on my experience in consultancy, which I will tell you. As Madam was mentioning, they are very good in presenting and making slides. I am an old guy with the old PPT principles. No, they have gone for nice preparation. Okay, basic things. This is a one building in Kazipet where I stay. You can see this is not even plastered, friends. Just completed the construction. But it has gone to fail. Whether it is plastered building or non-plastered, just like Romeo and Juliet, don't think like that. The two silos which have settled like anything, one silo settling more than the other, and it is falling on that one. So in maybe few days, both the structures will fail. And this is a long pending issue. Pisa Tower. Originally labeled as Pisa Tower, now it is popularly called as Leaning Tower of Pisa. In one of the international conference, I had the opportunity to hear from the chief engineer of Italy. He came to present this, not now, maybe 15-20 years back. There was a case, there was a time where Italy government stopped even visitors to see the building because the center of gravity is going out of the middle third. When it crosses the middle third, d by 3, every risk is there to fail. And they said that they have to go for some measures, repairs. And of course they have gone for, this is a system they have gone for augering and invited more settlements, please. Here I need more settlements to happen. So they have removed soil mass and made this to come down. And that kind of procedure has been done. Then one person asked intelligently, we have developed like anything, engineering. Why can't you make it straight, vertical? Can be done. But Italy government said that, don't make it vertical. If it becomes vertical, it's a normal building. I think many of you might have seen one of the great South Indian star, Rajinikanth. He has a heroic style, even putting a cigar in his mouth. He is heroic. Similarly, this is one of the wonders of the world because it is leaning. It has to stay like that. They given strict instructions saying that you have to bring the center of gravity to the middle third and leave the building. so that many visitors will come. And they made it also. They could make it recover. This is one of the building wherein lot of erosion has taken place. Soil erosion. Almost the floor of the building is hanging. There is a place called Bhadrachalam in Telangana, wherein Godavari is going almost like Pradakshina to the Radram. It takes almost 90 degrees turn when it is flowing. And when in floods condition, it will be having lot of erosion. That's why we go for scour depth, maximum scour depth. All this can erode like anything. And this is one of the slow failures that can happen. Whether this is one of the my classmate, Professor Srikanth, M.D. Srikanth, he works in FPCL, wherein he could say that the entire pipeline got damaged, and there is a lot of damage. Even the pavement, you see what kind of settlements or upliftment has happened. This type of normal failure, this is normal road, but you see, lot of curvies, it has become curvy. It's not in India, it is in US, but it is lot of, there is a, Anand Kupala, there is one person under whom I worked in University of Texas at Arlington for a small research program. He has told about this. There can be a lot of gaps and doorways. And you see the pier, it's a massive 2 meter, 3 meter pier, and there are some cracks that are happening. This is sheet piles. Okay, when you have retaining system, when the water flows, and along with the water, lot of soil also will go off, and it will lead to a lot of failure because of that pressure. This is the kind of settlement, there is SRSP canal in Warangal, which brings water from Karimnagar to Warangal. There is a lot of settlements, more than height of a person. This is a causeway, Venterly, it has gone for a lot of repairs. This is one building wherein there is a lot of settlements. To know the settlements, I was so surprised to have this project. Friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. It takes almost a thread of minimum 15 centimeters. Minimum will take. So 75 centimeters I am going elevated, but I have to jump more than 75 centimeters. The floor has settled by 1 meter. The kind of soil I use for flooring, please, it's a very important thing. जो भी मिलेगा नहीं था. Many of us nowadays, because of fast foods, we are dumping. We don't know whether it is X, Y, Z, E, Q, Z, A, B, C. जो भी मिल रहा है, it is tasty here, but it is harming here. It is not dustbin. Please remember, it is not dustbin. Don't throw anything like this. Similarly, what type of soil you are using, whether you are using murram, whether you are using graded sand, or you are going for clay, that is very important. The gap. Generally, even when you go for Hyderabad Metro, they'll announce, please mind the gap. See the gap, how much that has happened between them. This is another problem with oil tanks. So much of it's a very huge 20 liters oil tank. This is got settled like anything. This is another thing because of collapsible soil, just like nowadays we are hearing this heart attacks. And there is another important thing, cardiac arrest nowadays, not cardiac failure. There is cardiac arrest. Similarly here, there is a collapse failure. Structure of soil will collapse like anything. This is in Chennai, wherein the vehicles are moving, immediately there is a big hole that is created in the ground. Not only in Chennai, in China also it happens. There is another case study in between Pune and Mumbai. The person generally they will be traveling in the nights and taking in the morning rest. So this lorry driver stopped for a cup of coffee and washroom. By the time he came, this is the cut. That is the problem with soil. And geotechnical engineers and civil engineers have to deal with complex material. And Madam was mentioning about slow failures. Whether you are traveling in an Audi car or BMW or Maruti, doesn't matter. We will be crushed like barbers. This is the kind of failure that can happen in the pile uplift because of uplift. So much of upliftment has been. There's another failure type in payments. This is payment settlement is more than the width of the lorry, my friends. See, this is just by the side. This is settled by so much. When you're going for constructions, this is to be taken care of. Another thing in Mandi, wherein lot of blocks of 5 meter size, they will be flowing in water. If they come and hit the building, it will be no more. This kind of failure that can happen for retaining walls. And this is a bridge, wherein this support has moved a little away and the deck of the slab has fallen. This is the kind of quicksand I was mentioning. Lot of other. This is kind of things that can happen with collapsible soil, most probably in fine sand and silty soils. And as you can see here, deep excavations. Madam was mentioning one photograph where I can see a person. This is the kind of, if this is the height of the normal human being, like 1.5, 1.7 meter, please understand what is the depth excavation I am making. And please remember, when I am having so much of it is not an ideal material. It is a living material. All of us are living entities. We have something spark. This bench is non-living. It will be calm, quiet. But all of us, I think many of you might have seen, even to keep these 70 people sit comfortably, we have to be very innovatively present. Otherwise, you will be doing your own activities. Any small kid will not be ideal for 5 minutes also. Because some spirit is there, soul is there. Mother Earth is also like an active material. It will be applying lot of pressures if at all you don't balance it. If it is balanced, it will be quiet. But if it is imbalanced, so much of height being retained, it will be applying lot of active pressures. Whether it is water or soil, this is the problem. So I may have to go for so much of stress. Just this is a small problem that we may have. This is one of the African countries. I don't know whether it's started settling within few minutes or hours. Many of us have played like water vapor boats. The vehicle has started floating in water within short of time because they have not cared about the type of soil and drainage system. The water is so fierce and it has washed away entirely. And this is another thing that happened in Kerala. I think all of you can visualize and guess what will be the age of this structure approximately. 10 days? 100 years at least because of the well type and the kind of, and please see in few minutes what happened.
என்ன படிக்கல என்ன படிச்சா മാറിക്കണ ഈ വീഡിയോ പൈസ ഉണ്ട്
Just by the side of it. So they should have that courage. Otherwise, we should not have this example. But please understand the condition of the soil for the past 100 years or 150 years is able to subject. But within these minutes, soil Friends, this is another thing that has happened in Europe. And they have investigated up to some depth, but they could not get a proper foundation soil. They have gone little ahead of whatever design depth without any struts supporting system. And just because they made an attempt to this. They want to proper boarding and they want
Aqui acabou isso. Não mostrei isso na frente. Kameraya çektik burayı. Hemen makineden çıkışta hemen alıyor. Şu makineye atarlar.
kind of support systems they have to provide. Ishwar Prasad was mentioning sometimes cases of failure where we don't have proper support systems. That is very important. And friends, this is the basic. This is what happened in Himalayas also because of the gush of water. I think many of you recently, just last year itself, we had because of this gush of water. There's a dam also which has been washed out. In lapse of time, I cannot go for this. The kind of failures of this, the kind of retaining system. You see the water how it is going up because of not being able to properly. As Sir was mentioning, workmanship is very important. Whenever the workmanship is not there. Okay. This is about failures. Now, as they are also mentioning about the friends, what for we are discussing about this kind of failures. Not to threaten you, not to make you, oh, ऐसा होता है इसलिए no. To have a way and means of overcoming the situations. These are also possible. The kind of failures they have faced, we may also face when we become civil engineers. Therefore, we need to worry about three things. One is safety, economy, and serviceability. I have to think of serviceability along with safety with some economical standard. That is the main optimization that we have to do as civil engineers. Because I am dealing with natural materials. Just like doctors. If they say that I can take a factor of safety of 3, can anyone go to a doctor? 1 among 3? So, but we have to, we also have the same thing, same condition. I'm using such type of natural material. They are taking natural human beings, I am dealing with natural materials. I should be, so I have to have proper optimization. Now, madam was mentioning about geotechnical investigation, and it should be carefully considered a process of scientific discovery, tailored. I think all of us know a tailor who will make the dress according to my body. So madam was mentioning, from site to site, conditions will change, geology will change, circumstances will change, and we have to tailor and to the existing conditions on site to form type of construction. And it's only 1 to 5%, but it has to be properly taken care. This is my, almost like in 99 when I joined REC Varangal, I have taken one consultancy project which I remember still. There is a small village like Karkal, it's a MRO building, and we have gone for, it's a government building, they want a report. The DE or AE came to say, give some report of SBC. I thought it's a very easy one. Shankaraya sir, Professor Shankaraya has instructed me to go for this time, and I have gone for SPT test. And when I thought of having, generally IS course is that 4 corners, 1 center. But in general, in practice, what we do, we reduce the time and money, we'll go for diagonal. We'll optimize it, and I have gone for first place, where hard stratum could be achieved at 5.5 feet. I was very happy, 1.6 meters, aaram se ho jayega. Then I shifted to 2. It was 9.5 feet. Shifted to 3, 15 feet. Within a span of around 50 to 50, 60 meters, the slope of the hardest stratum is so high. The rock is available at 1.5 meter here, 4.5 meters. If Radhakrishna sir, who happens to be my neighbor, Hare Krishna, I am a structural engineer, go for a foundation of 1.5 meters. But if I construct, I'll be having a lot of differential settlements. So every individual is different. Maybe 50, 60 of us. If a cockroach comes, it will take everyone same. But all of us know that Suresh is a practicing engineer, Hare Krishna is the only teacher. There is a lot of difference. All these, remember, every site, every soil, every human being is different. Don't think that all soils are same. देखने में ऐसा ही है, maybe same, but depending on the type of deposition, condition, properties will change. And this is another thing where we have done for ONGC. Odal Revu, there is a place of Rajahmundry, Amalapuram, and they thought of going for a bridge from ONGC vehicles. And when we have gone for investigation, it is hard rock is available 46 meters. Till that when it's so soft, we have gone to the site with chappals. And when we are keeping our foot is coming, chappal is not coming. When we started erecting SPT equipment, it is settling like anything. M value is 1 to 5. Mind you friends, when we have gone, it is 46 meters. And we have suggested 50 meters. ONGC people come. So 50 meters or 50 centimeters they ask. Or 50 feet they ask. But you said 50 meters. Because there is no other goal. And we have given foundation design also for this is another thing what we have done for Begumpet Airport before Shamshabad. We used to have airport at Begum Bay. On one bad morning, the head of department of REC Warangal got a call from Chief Engineer of Airport Authority of India saying that one embankment which is constructed by 9 meters, it started bumping when they are moving in vehicles. And at the time, head of department called me, Hari Krishna, go and see the project. And I have gone and we have done some investigations of SPT, and we could see that in the top around 150 meters, the N value is very good, maybe around 30 to 50. I'm very happy. And from 2 to 3 meters to approximately ground surface, it is single digit. And from ground surface, it is again 20 to 30. We asked the chief engineer, what has happened? Why it is, sir, I am a new appointee here, recently only I came. Then they have given good hotel, Ramada, 5-star hotel, and we invited the contractor for a dinner, along with the drinks and everything. And we asked the contractor, he's a A1 class contractor. He said, sir, I have 500 trippers and 100 road rollers. There is one payment work going on. I have all the trippers free, 200, 300 trippers free, and I have only few road rollers. So I all just dumped the soil. Of course, they thought of constructing this for checking the capacity of the engine. Right? After repair, all of us know 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler bike, mechanic will take to ride and they will understand. Similarly, pilot has to take, but when they take it to the air, it is getting a lot of delays and consumption. So they're all going for some retaining wall. See the kind of problem. Just they dump it without any compaction. That's why the soil is very good. It is to be dangerous. Now, I'll concentrate another 15 minutes on my research, what I have done at NIT Warangal on problematic soils. I think please understand when I say problematic soil, it is not the soil has a problem. No student has a problem. Every student is a good student, but the way they receive the knowledge, that is different. These soils, nature has produced them for some purpose. I think all of you have heard of black cotton soil or expansive soils. They are very good for agriculture. Any farmer, if you want to sow a seed, will you go to sandy soil and put the seed? No. Will you go for clayey soil? And in that clayey soil, there are some soils like expansive soils. Where you see the mechanism, 1 gram of soil or 1 cc of soil will become 3 cc. 300% increase in volume will take place. The void ratios increase like anything. This makes the roots of the plant easily penetrate into the soil. That is the basic system. Nature has given this type of soil. But we are using them for construction. That is our problem. We created the problem. And there are some, like, just like I have shown, some collapsible soils, soft clays, and these are very poor in strength. But this has been categorized as the most problematic soil. What it creates. Just a small diagram to understand. If at all you are having non-swelling soil, if you keep a footing, along with water, it doesn't change its position. But when you have expansive soil, just because of presence of water, it will lift the foundation. Because there is an increase in the volume. When the volume increases, there is no place to go in lateral direction, so it will lift entire foundation. That's the problem with expansive soils. And of course, in India, it's a 20% of the area is covered. In this type of soil, there is a lot of damages to the lightly loaded structures, and people are spending billions of dollars for the damages. This is a general. I am from a farmer family. Whenever my grandfather used to take to the field, we used to see such type of cracks in the top. Now, when you should be very cautious, especially in the summer season. When you keep your foot, it may. This is kind of photograph. This is the kind of failures in the buildings. This is in Warangal itself. You see the kind of gap that is coming, and this is the case with pavements, canals. Just like when you break a glass, how it is like that. And this is in the SRSP canal itself. So much of damages under the canal linings, even retaining walls. And there are so many systems that are available till now. A lot of engineers have developed either removal, replacement, application of surcharge, moisture barriers, using cushion material, chemically modified, and different types of pile foundations. And many of them are working, but there are some limitations. We at NIT Warangal have thought of understanding all the type of foundations that are available. We made an effort to go for cushion footings, chemically treated footings, and under removed piles. We have gone for both sand cushion and CNS with whatever depth of cushions that are being suggested, and we laid the foundations like this by excavating for different depth and casting the foundations. And this is CNS material, cohesive, non-swelling. sand is not cohesion. It is cohesionless. So it doesn't work properly. So Katti from IIT Bombay suggested CNS. So we have gone for that, and we have gone for lime sand pile, calcium chloride, sodium silicate and calcium chloride, and we have gone for lime sand piles like this. We added calcium chloride and sodium silicate, and we have just poured them, and we have gone for underreamut piles. Like this, we have done a lot of investigation. This is underreamut bulb that is generally to be formed. This is a reinforcement like this, and we kept them for saturation. This is a wonderful field study where we could publish good publications, and we got good patents also with some awards because of the field investigation what we have done. And this is the developed technique from NIT Warangal. It's called piled footings, wherein all of you please understand this principle. In general, we will be having a foundation. The foundation is subjected to some kind of swell pressures, because of which it will be lifted up. Now we are going for an anchor. I think all of you heard of anchor. Many of us might have seen, mostly for boats, ships, they have to anchor. There is a place, otherwise if at all I may stop my vehicle in Vishakhapatnam, tomorrow it will be in Kakinada or Chennai, because water will be taking off this. So this anchor, similarly I will be anchoring this one. This is the principle, I will be using the pile, and this will be having some uplift resistance for this. And this is the general tension pile technique, which my guru, Professor Ramanamurthy, has done a lot of investigation in this. And I have upgraded that one so that the friction on the surface will be more by taking stone column principle, granular pile technique we call. So we have gone for this. The basic principle is when the footing is connected to this granular anchor material, the kind of resistance that we will get. If it is a smooth material, naturally the friction will be less. I think if you see about hands also, this side it is smooth, this side it is rough. Maybe for some girls, maybe almost same, but generally it is different. Whenever we warm, generally we go for like this, isn't it? When we just like this, less amount of friction. If you move lot of lateral pressure, you will be getting more friction. Same principle we utilize. So rather than having lesser amount of friction, we thought of going for a rough surface, and because of the rough surface, I will be getting more friction. And stone columns, the capacity depends on the kind of bulging of the material. It's not a unified material, it's a particulate material. So whenever we apply load, it starts to bulge. But soil there will not allow. So there is a lot of lateral pressure that will become. So the capacity in the uplift will be more. So at the bottom it is more, friction is more. Natural uplift capacity will be. So like that we developed this technique. And near NIT quarters we have used some area for this. We casted in field. We have done everything, not only laboratory. To make it confirm, we have done field investigation, spending good amount of time and money for my PhD project. We have constructed 13 footings with in the field with 5 with concrete, anchor piles without any treatment. Like this we have made with the different permutation combinations of footing sizes and L&D varying about this. And we have done, this is how we have bored that, and this is reinforcement, this is how concrete is made. This is the pedestals that we use for anchors, because it should not get rusted. We have gone for concreting of it, and like this is my PhD supervisor critically watching, and we have compacted with SPT hammer also. He is Professor Kadiali from IIT Delhi. He visited and he appreciated our work, and we have done some uplift studies both in saturated and unsaturated conditions with concrete piles and granular anchor piles with the different L&D ratios, and this is a system we developed. So that just because of compression we get uplift. We have such a hydraulic system where I am just lifting this rectangular piece of frame, and because it is lifted, and the entire anchor will be pulled out. The same principle we have used in the field. Like this, we have gone for different types of ratios of diameter and length, and we have done such type of investigations. And then we have done compression studies also, normal pile load test. He is working in WASP. Now he is doing a lot of good works in London. He is a Kiran Kumar. He has done good amount of work there. And it is not that we just kept it in lab. We have used it different places in Warangal. Compound walls of nearby to NIT Warangal campus, we have adopted this. Even after 20 years, there is no crack that is there. So it is working. Even for the TV tower station of Warangal, we have used it. Now, maybe another 5-10 minutes, I'll just take you to another good work NIT Warangal has done in reaching to the society. That is rehabilitation and reconstruction of damaged Kakatiya monuments. Warangal happens to be another name Orugallu, which is to be ruled by Kakatiyas, and they have constructed a very significant, monumental, different type of constructions. Even till today, they are there. If you just come to NIT Warangal, front gate is nothing but Kakatiya Toranam. It's called Kakatiya Arch. So that is, so they ruled the area from 11 to 14. They constructed several magnificent temples in this special and unique style that is called Kakatiya architecture. This is Kakatiya Arch. It used to be single stone piece. They used to go for this. And this is the kind of roof system they had. They don't have simple flat slab like this. They'll be having square panels of granite. One over the other, they will go on. After 5 years, they'll put. It's called corbelling, like that. This is wonder of the. I think all of you know. Any speciality of Ramappa temple? UNESCO recognized. Another speciality is whenever we say temple, we say Rama temple, Krishna temple, Ganesh temple, Durga temple, but it is the name of the god? No, it is. He is the architect or engineer. This is the kind of recognition we have as a civil engineer. The temple is named after the person who designed it and executed it. That's a greatness. For the 1,000 years, the engineer is being recognized. You got the point? That is the kind of contribution we can do to the society. By manifesting, by creating, by constructing something. So this is Ramappa temple, and this is constructed by some Acharya Rudrareddy in 1213, that is the Viti says. And this is generally, the Kakatiyas have a system. This is recognized in 2024 by UNESCO. This is the main temple. They will be having some Sabha Mandapa where they will go for some festivals, and some Nandi will be there. And friends, this is the simple foundation system they have adopted. It is called sandbox technique. It is nothing but just like I'll be having 2 floors, like 6 meters, 1 meter, 1 floor below the ground. This is my ground level, and I'll go approximately 3 meters below the ground level. I'll excavate, have some retaining walls. I'll go another 3 meters above, make a retaining wall, and fill the sand and compact. Friends, on the top, they can go for any kind of granite, quartzite, columns, any type of stone slabs or anything they will be having. That is working like that. This is a system they have used, and this is another marvelous thing that we come forward. My goodness, we had a project, R&D project. My classmate, who is a BOG member of Geoid, Professor Ratish Kumar, he had a PhD student also. They tried their level best to get a specific gravity of less than 1. They could go up to 1.2, 1.2, not less than 1. But the kind of materials they have used, we don't know, but it is floating. In Ramayana, we heard Ram Setu, wherein they have written the name of Lord. Okay, there is some spiritual thing wherein he is being floating in water, but there is no spiritual something like that. It is the only material that they have used that makes this one floating. When we try to know the strength aspect of it, we are so surprised that the compressive strength of this floating bricks is 30 to 40 kg per centimeter square, whereas normal bricks is only 22. Even when you think of tensile strength, it is more than that. And for this temple, they have used 3 hard type of ropes. One is dolomites with compressive strength of 2000 to 3000, granite with 1000. The kind of massiveness of the rock, strength of the rock is so huge. And there is some damages. This is the Pradakshina Pada we have, there is damages. Even for the beams, friends, please understand this is a granite beam of 30 centimeters wide, maybe 30 to 60 centimeters thick, 3 meters long. But all you want to break it. I think all of us in childhood, pencils, we used to break it. Once we break it, itna lika intrases and amma ayipindi ani cheptam kadamma. So we used to break it, a pencil or pop it. Or at the most, a Pahalwan may be taking a brick and breaking it. Can we break a granite piece? It's impossible for a human being. But friends, that was broken to pieces, 2 pieces, and the gap is so maybe 5 to 10 centimeters gap, which we filled with mortar. I want to inform you kind of forces earth mass can give, which can break a granite beam. This is problems with roof. This is 1000 pillar temple. As name says, 1000 pillars are there if you count at 1000. And this is how the mandapa is. This is Trikuta shrine. Three gods will be there. Lord Shiva, this is not there right now. Surya used to be there, and Vishnu used to be there, but the Mohammedans, when they invade, they removed it. And this is how, this is the Kalyana Mandapa, and where NIT Warangal, REC Warangal have done some work. This is the interiors. Even today, the luster, the kind of exposure it has, the shining is really marvelous. And this is the Nandi. When I saw this, if at all I want to decorate my daughter and my wife, we have to go for gold and silver. But they have gone for bull. They have decorated. See the kind of richness they had at that time. They even used to decorate the bulls at that time, and it was considered in 1162. And this is the kind of picture. When I joined in REC Warangal as a student in 1990, I have visited this temple, and when I saw this, I was so pained, frankly speaking. ఎంతో బాధేసిందండి. అరే ఇంత డ్యామేజ్ అయిపోయింది, దీన్ని ఏం చేయలేమా అని. Maybe Lord Shiva has given me an opportunity to be associated with the reconstruction of this. And Archaeology Survey of India has given a project for us to go for restoration of this. We removed all the parts of this Kalyana Mandapa, stacked them in the Padmakshama Gutta, which is nearby to this 1000 pillar. And this is the ground surface after we remove all the parts. And as you can see, friends, there is some pits here. This is one test pit we had. This is one test pit. We have gone for some test pits, and we have found that the soil is in almost loose condition. It is not dense sand, it is a loose sandstone. And then we have removed all the sand up to 3 meters, and we have done some SPT test, normal SPT standard penetration test to know the condition of the soil. And basics, as Madam has mentioned, as Suresh has mentioned, it's a clear indication of number is indication of the strength of it. Just like we drive a nail, when we drive a nail in the case of a normal wall, it may be 5 blows, 10 blows, it can go. If we go in a column, can it go? No. Rather than it going, it will twist itself, it will fail. Because the strength of the column is more than the strength of the nail. It will fail. Same is the system. Before we go for any treatment, this is the condition of the soil with single visits. But after we did some treatment, this is the improvement of ground we could make it. Of course, we have gone for some techniques like vibro compaction with vibrated rollers, and this is the kind of compaction we could achieve. More than the 100% relative compaction we could achieve. Whatever laboratory designated one, when we tested with the field, it is 100%. And this is because stone columns might be issue topic. We have reinforced the entire soil mass with stone columns, and actual structure is this red line, but we have gone little ahead so that it will be more good in strength aspect. So like this we have reinforced around 525, something like that we have. So we have casted the stone columns. Yeah, here is the pioneer, Professor Panduranga Rao, who is a geologist, who is my guru, and when I am in REC Warangal, he is my PhD guy, teacher myself. There are another professors who used to visit the place, and we used to monitor. We have done some pilot tests, and we have gone for a gravel blanket on the top of this entire densified sand, and we started rolling it and compacting it, and we have gone for lime concrete, lime mortar. Never we have not used any artificial material, no cement, no steel, nothing. And we started bringing all the parts from the stacking yard to this place, and we assembled them. Mind you, friends, when we are doing this work, then I realized the kind of effort that I had done. Because each beam or column or slab is tons, 5 tons, 10 tons, and I need such a big frames to lift them. But at that time, there's no machinery. How they have done this type of work? We should appreciate their workmanship. As Sir was mentioning, people are frightened to have adi walls because of poor workmanship. But they see the kind of expertise they had at that time, they made it possible by having such type of column. And we could achieve up to the ground level. And of course, we have gone for artificial cramps, join all the parts of the rocks at different places. This is before the treatment, this is after the treatment, how perfectly it is there, just about the top of the sand cushion, sandbox. This is how we have placed them, and we have filled all the gaps with the rich lime mortar. And this is the model of mortar we have used. We have taken jaggery, Telugulo bellam antam, jaggery and some kind of lime, and some trees will be giving some rubber, some type of sticking materials, just like a cementing medium, like that we have used, and we take this. And friends, this is how the structure is now. Yes, sir. It's open. You can visit one more time. We have all the central ministers, state ministers coming and opening this. Friends, the story doesn't end here. He started giving this technique to others, like Ram Lalla temple in Ayodhya. When L&T thought of going for trials, our professor have visited central government and the Ram Lalla Trust and convinced them the foundation should learn for at least 1,000 years. So we have gone for same kind of sandbox technique. Because there is a big fault just by the side of Ram Lalla temple. If any earthquake, just as I have shown, the granite piece of 30 centimeter wide, 50 centimeter, they can break that much of seismic forces. It may be building may be there for over 100 years just because of an earthquake for a few seconds, just like a heart attack. It can come and within fraction of a second, Abdul Kalam was speaking like this and he collapsed. So that kind of failure is happening in living entities, just like soil also rock. So that kind of failure may come. So therefore we have adopted this. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. By my groups. Sir. This is the kind of support that seniors can give to juniors. As Sari is asking, may not be friendship, cannot be between a dog and a. No? But when we come to the knowledge transfer, it can be director of Jacobs, professor of civil engineering. We have to have that sharing of knowledge for the betterment of society. That friendship is supposed to happen. 83-year-old guy, I'm really happy to see him, and both of our students, Hare Krishna or Prashanti. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence. I thank Sangeeta, Srinivas, Ramoji sir for giving me this opportunity. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for that informative session and for inspiring the engineers inside us to keep thriving for knowledge. And I totally agree to you saying that every student is a good student. It was really interesting to learn from real life structures for which geotechnical engineering is the foundation. We are really happy to have you here today, sir. Thank you.
Dear students and participants, we had 3 wonderful sessions by Suresh Kumar Gupta sir, Prasanthi madam, as well as our professor sir, IIT Warangal. Such a informative and valuable, because all of them are coupled with theory with practice actually. Because we can't get these kind of exposure within a matter of 1.5 or 2 hours of time actually. Okay, so see, Sari is a renowned professor at IIT Warangal. Okay, so Sari is happened to be Guru of NIT Warangal professor. So in this profession, teaching is a noble profession because we cannot make much money out of it, right? So somebody come on future and sir, you taught this subject for us. So that is a more than $1 million of worth actually. That satisfaction always do have with a teacher. That is the beauty of teaching, right? Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. So next, okay.
We request all the participants and the dignitaries to join us for a photo session at D block, which is followed by lunch. Our student volunteers will guide you there. The lunch is arranged beside D block for the lunch area. After lunch, we will reconvene for the quiz session in room number D103. I repeat, we will reconvene for the quiz session in room number D103 and B plan session in room number 116. After quiz prelims, we will start with B plan in room number D116. I repeat, room number D116.
कैसे बोला ना సో 2 నుంచి 2:40 వరకు కదా ఏం టైం పాస్ చేస్తావు మామూలుగా ఫైనల్స్ ఒకవేళ ఫైనల్స్ లంచ్ పెడతారు మనకు కూడా పార్టిసిపెంట్ అందరికి టీ ఇయ్యలేదు ఇది కింద పడుతుంది టైఫాయిడ్ రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది రికార్డ్ వచ్చింది
ఏడైతుంది
అక్కడ పోయి ఇంకోటి కనపడుతుంది
అది ఫోటోస్
ఇక్కడే ఉంది
దాకా వచ్చాను. దాని తర్వాత A1 కాదు A నాట్ A4 A4 A8 B నాట్ అక్కడ ఏం పెట్టచ్చు వద్దు పోతే ఇచ్చి
లైక్ క్యారీ చేసుకోండి బెస్ట్ లాక్స్ వేస్తారు లైక్ సెషన్ అయితే లాక్స్ వేస్తారు ఉన్నాయి ఒక్క నిమిషం